Hello! Welcome to Not Quite Novelists. This is the podcast where new worlds are built and new friends are made on the spot each and every episode. My name is Savannah, and with me today I've got the overall zoo of a person, just general gremlin of a human being.
That's me. I'm a good one.
And also my coworker. This is Kyle.
That's right.
Thank you for guesting. That Gurr just reminded me of when you said you're gonna make a gnome D&D character.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hi, my name's Terry.
Terry, how I like it.
I feel like he needs to be a pirate.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
Oh, we are getting so ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
Cause that's the whole point of this show is to like do that, right?
Just get way off track.
Yeah, we're going about 4 steps ahead. So you know how this works. You saw episode 1.
Yep.
Basically, what we do is we've got 2 lists of random generators, and that will tell us what our inspiration for the episode is going to be.
All right, I've been wondering what this was. I've been thinking about it all day. I'm like, what is the inspiration gonna be?
It's gonna get interesting. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please.
All right. We got a 17.
Let's see. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it was a good.
It's actually it's interesting because it's might possibly be related to the episode just before us, or just
all
before
right.
this one, episode 3. All right, and go ahead and roll another d20 for me.
Okay. Another d20. Okay.
Yeah, one more time.
I got 10. What is it gonna be?
All right, so our theme is Mafia.
Oh.
Which,
all right.
anyone who saw,
that's good.
Yeah, anyone
Yep.
who saw episode 3 knows that I'm rewatching The Sopranos right now, and I'm super obsessed with like mobster.
I've never seen that.
It's good.
But I do like some mob stories. Though.
It's good. I'm like only on. I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of it, so I'm only on like episode 5 of the first season.
Oh, nice.
It's a good show. But our tone, our like genre of the whole thing is post-apocalyptic.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a good ass. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like some Mad Max shit.
Which also, if anyone knows me in real life, also knows that I am absolutely obsessed with, it's, okay, so My Chemical Romance is my favorite band, obviously. Of course. But I am obsessed with the True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, which was from their 4th album, Danger Days. It's a concept album, and it's set in this like post-apocalyptic, like think like Mad Max Tank Girl kind of vibe. The whole world is
yeah.
I have the comics. I have that was, and actually, so people who have like RP'd with me and stuff in life know that the Killjoys universe is my longest running. Like, I still do role plays in the Killjoys universe. It is my longest running thing. I've been doing it since I was 16. 15, actually, and I just turned 28, so that's 13 years? I hate myself.
That's more than half my life.
Disgusting. A child.
No.
But I love that. Okay, so, yeah.
That's exciting.
A post-apocalyptic Mafia kind of vibe. I've learned, so I was re-listening to episode 1 after recording episode 3 and realized I have a type when it comes to characters. So it's specifically the like this like heiress, daughter of the boss kind of guy. So I'm gonna try and veer away from that as much as I can.
All right. Okay.
My goal is to have something new and like different and like give some variety.
Yeah.
I don't want to give myself too much typecasting. So I think I kind of want to do like a he's like a newcomer. He's like the new guy in the family. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got
I was thinking I was gonna do like a big bruiser type.
Ooh, yeah.
Like big old shaved head, like a pinhead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
And
If you-
like, yeah.
If you watch, do you watch Critical Role at all?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. They have a new animated series out, which is so fucking good. Oh my god, it's amazing. And they're like powerhouse. They're like barbarian. His name is Grog, and he's just
Grog.
yeah. The second you see him, you're like, yep, that's a barbarian. I think my guy, he's gonna be kind of like scrawny dude. He's gonna be kind of like really unassuming. You know, you
Yeah.
wouldn't think that he's
Totally.
you know that he's capable of doing anything Bob-ish, but he's really sneaky. I think he's like kind of like pickpocket, like he's really like can get into small spaces, kind of like mouse-like kind of thing. I think
Yeah, kind of like a rogue.
yeah, I was gonna say yes, exactly. Like if this were in D&D, he would be a rogue for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets the nickname Rat.
Rat?
Yeah.
That's a great. Yeah,
And for a while, people think like it's because he's like a snitch, but no, it's because he's small, he's quick, he's really fast. He like gets into small spaces, and that's
he
how
gets
he
sick
like.
all the time.
Yeah.
He has a lot of diseases. He's got like
He absolutely
chicken pox all the time. You know, it's a post-apocalyptic. You don't know, it'd be crazy chicken pox. It'd be monkey pox.
he gets the plague. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually, that does give me a cool idea for like backstory maybe. So usually in these episodes, what we've done is like, okay, figure out our characters and then figure out like the setting, like what the world they're in and stuff like that. But I feel like for post-apocalyptic, you almost have to kind of reverse that, figure out, okay, what caused the apocalypse? What kind of apocalypse?
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
is
good
it a
idea.
zombie thing or a
Yeah, that's
you
a
know.
good start for sure.
So I feel like this would be kind of like not zombies, but to make it relevant to life. Just imagine just imagine like the apocalypse started from like an epidemic, like some kind of like crazy like pandemic worldwide. It took everybody
Yeah,
out.
we already know how that is. So.
Hey, I don't draw from real life experience at all.
No, none of us do. What are you talking
No.
about?
Artists never
No
take
artist
from
takes
real
from
life.
it. Yeah. For real.
Y'all can tell we get nothing done at work.
I get stuff done. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is why I keep my headphones on though, because I can't talk to you at work, because
Yes,
it'll just
exactly.
be this.
Exactly. That's
I'm like,
exactly true.
headphones on, no
That's
one
very
talks to
true.
me. It's the only way I'm gonna get work done.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like cool, like maybe pandemic.
All right, then. Yeah. What? So this would be a city, right?
Yeah.
So what city should it be in?
Ooh. I mean,
Because if it's post-apocalyptic, how far are we in the future of the post-apocalyptic?
oh, you mean like, yeah, you mean like, oh, did the
there
apocalypse
be new
just
cities?
happened, or is it like
Yeah.
way in the future, like?
Did those cities get destroyed and now they're in
Yeah.
like more inland because the sea rose?
I mean,
Shit.
obviously.
Obviously.
I feel like it would definitely be. I like the idea of doing like almost like, you know how like Hunger Games is technically like post-apocalyptic because it's
Yeah,
But-
it's like
but-
the districts and stuff.
yeah, but it's not necessarily like no one remembers what it was like to be, you know, to have the
Yeah,
society
yeah,
now.
totally.
It's
Mhm.
that far in the future where it's like basically a whole new world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Denver, like right in the center.
Ooh.
Everyone had to go to
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah. My sister's gonna like that.
Nice.
yeah. I've never been to. Closest I've been to Denver was I had a layover in the Denver airport once.
Yeah, the
That's
thing
it.
is massive.
I know. I would love to go. Honestly, I would just love to go to Colorado.
Yeah,
I
me
wanna
too.
go.
I've never been.
I know, me neither. I mean, I've
Ooh,
been.
You can get like some cold, snowy scenes in there.
Yes. And apparently, there are like places in Colorado where it's like, yeah, it's really snowy, but it's actually considered like high desert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love
so
high
it's
deserts.
not nearly as like slushy or icy the way like we get it here. Theirs is a lot more like it's more like playable snow. It's like fluffier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would
Fluffy.
be cool. I like fluffy. I just don't like snow. I don't know why I live where I live. I hate the cold so much.
You're so from the south.
I know.
I love the snow. I love the
too
cold. Bring it on.
Southern for this. Oh, man. My sister and I went in, like, 2 different directions. I went, like, nah, fuck the snow. I hate it. She went, like, I love the snow. Put me in a mountain. Weirdo.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I see what you're
That's how my guy, that's a good transition. My guy is going to be just like that. He's going to live in the mountains and then come down to the city.
I like
that. In that way, he's like a big mountain man.
Yeah. I feel like maybe, okay, so if this was more like recent apocalypse, like more like Walking Dead, you know how it's like, the apocalypse has happened, the world has collapsed, but people still remember what it was like life before. I kind of get the vibe that your guy was probably like a doomsday prepper.
Oh, no. I'm thinking like mob, long time mob guy, hides in the mountains so no one can get him.
Oh,
and then like he's just like king of the mountains. And himself, he is a mountain. So it's like it fits him.
That's a vibe. Yeah. Wasn't there's a Game of Thrones character named the Mountain, right? Or like that's his like nickname?
I don't know. What's that? I don't even know what that is.
Game of Thrones?
No, I never watched that.
Oh.
I know.
There was a certain scene that I got to that I was just like tapped out. I'm done. I gotta stop.
Yeah.
I would like to get back to it. But yeah, so like there's a character in it who's nicknamed the Mountain, and that's kind of he's just the muscle. He's big, scary, could beat the hell out of anybody. Like, so that's definitely your dude. Okay, so in that case, that could be a great way of like how your guy and my guy meet. How
totally.
The Mountain and
that's
the
100%.
Rat, that's how they meet. The boss is like, hey, there's someone, stealing our shit, or there's someone like going and screwing our whole thing up.
Yeah.
You gotta go take care of him, and you just literally like picking up like a kitten, like scruff of the neck, just yeets him up, and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
100%. Yeah. Like scruff of his hair. Like,
yeah. He's just like, I'm sorry! Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would say he's very, like... I was about to describe a guy, and then as I, had the words in my head, I was like, I'm just describing you.
Oh.
Because I was gonna say, like, smaller, scrawnier, probably long hair, and then I was gonna say glasses, and I was like, oh god, no, wait.
Yeah, that's me. Small, scrawny, glasses, long hair. No, it can be me. That's fun.
That was not the intention. It was just as the description was in my head, I realized I realized that it's just a very similar description to you. Oh my god, that's funny. So now I'm gonna change that a little bit.
All right.
I feel like he would be a little bit more. I feel like he would be the kind in the apocalypse world. He would actually be the one who somehow figures out a way to stay very clean cut.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
being the rat, like people would think he's like a snitch, but he's just like well kept.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a snitch. He probably has, like, keeps himself, like, nice haircut, keeps his clothes clean cut, somehow.
Thinking, like, striped shirt.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Button up for some reason.
Your guy, so.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah, he wears button ups for some reason. Don't know how he found him. Yeah, he absolutely is, like, he figures out a way to, like, do his laundry and like keep himself clean. I feel like he
you could just do it in the river,
Yeah.
a couple rivers. You just wash your clothes in the river.
I feel like maybe he absolutely he would have been like a doomsday prepper type. Keeps himself very prepared, is very vigilant, and like, scans a room every time he walks in.
Yeah, 100%.
He probably has some kind of like property, like some kind of like he found an abandoned house on like a like a ranch or a farm or something like that.
That's what I was thinking too, like up in the forest.
Yeah. So he absolutely, like, he keeps himself distanced from everybody, but he, like, when he does need to go out and get stuff, he's very sneaky, he's very quiet, he gets in and out, and, like, that's all he needs. In, out, and he gets back to his little, rat hole.
His rat hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Very much. So, yeah, he's somehow looks like he still lives in modern society, even though... So...
Yeah.
So, another question, more setting-wise, but I feel like it ties into what this is very, like, if there's a mafia, there's a mob that is organized crime, there is an implication of there is also law structure.
That's true.
Yeah, so what would be the power structure here? Who's the leader of this post-apocalyptic world?
Oh, shit. That's
a hard one.
That's a tough. I think it should be. Like just like town based.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like it's like regulators. Mount up. It's just regulators.
Oh, yeah.
It's just regulators.
Yeah. So there's like basically like an organization of like these different like pockets of regulators that would go around to different like if there's towns or like villages or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And basically make sure no one's killing each other. Everyone is, if it was like pandemic or kind of like if you've seen The Last of Us, so there's like this organization that basically make sure everybody is like safe, not sick, so that those little pockets also don't get sick. Yeah,
totally.
Let's say the rat probably works for this power structure, and when the mountain or when someone like catches him doing something that's kind of shady, they're like, what's this rat doing here,
Yeah, totally. Why this rat and my fucking cheese?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, hey man, I hate these guys just as much as y'all do. Like, I'm just trying to survive here. I don't like this power structure. I don't like this whole government bullshit either. Yeah, he's one of those. Try and take him down from the inside. So yeah, he kind of makes a deal with the.
So then the mob has to have something that the regulators want, right?
Yeah.
They want to stop.
Yeah, they would have to have something that they, like, some kind of, what is the crime that they're doing? Is it smuggling drugs? Is it...
Yeah, totally, exactly. That's
I would say maybe they... See, if I'm thinking, like, pandemic style, what if it's, like vaccines? But illegal vaccines. Like, the regulators, they are, like, very strict on, like, who's able to get it, how much like testing you should do, instead of, and like basically chooses who is worthy of surviving, but it's a very like regulated, obviously, kind of structure. Whereas this mob, it's kind of like a more secret organization. I feel like, drugs could be a thing, like they have like other recreational shit.
I was thinking drugs, but I was also thinking just like
giant weed farms in Colorado.
Totally, 100%.
Yes, but also
like I think they should probably dabble in a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I feel like all organized crime does, where it's like they have, they have their little pockets in prostitution and drugs and whatever, sex, drugs, rock and roll.
And I was thinking, this should all be on horseback.
Yes! 100%.
Yes, okay, 100%.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Alright. Yeah, big old cowboy hat.
Howdy, partner.
Too big for his head. Yeah, the rat's got a big cowboy hat. It's like too big for his head,
The rat is from Texas.
Yes, exactly.
You just made my southern little heart so happy. Anytime I can bring out my accent, I will.
And then the mountain man, he's from Canada because they got the Mounties, so
yes.
His father was a Mountie or something like that.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh my god, that's great. I feel like the rat, his family probably had something to do in like the oil industry.
Yeah.
It's like that's
why he's got money to buy or to keep that ranch.
Yeah. So yeah, the ranch was probably actually, instead of just finding one, I feel like the ranch was probably his like a family thing.
Yeah, you could probably it should be a family one.
I love it. So like passed down.
You know they like skiing and shit. Oh yeah, and that's how they meet. They're like the mountain man is just in the mountain like chilling, you know. Like next to his house. She's just up on the mountain, right? And then so like your guy, he's like his family's like skiing.
Oh yeah.
Right? And then they like literally he crashes into his house. That could be amazing.
I love that. There's a I think it's Vine, but there is this one video that is like on a mountain, people are like skiing or whatever, and someone holding the camera is like, all right, say cheese or say hi or something, and there's just this
I'm a giraffe.
Is that
what? Yeah, I'm a giraffe. That shit is so good. I love that video.
That's out of nowhere.
My best friend, he dressed up as Charizard and like a full Charizard onesie and went skiing down there and he was yelling Charizard, Char.
I feel like
fucking amazing.
I feel like you would have to have like a flamethrower behind you.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome.
Just for the effect. I was gonna say hairspray lighter.
Yeah, there you go. Even easier.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, he absolutely. So he's probably spent most of like the summer. They kind of, I feel like in this society they go back to like seasonal living. At least like the rat does. So this summer he spent a lot of time like stealing shit, obviously, hoarding like a squirrel, you know, like just hoarding
totally.
Food.
Just stocking up.
Yeah, as much as he can. He's
a doomsday prepper.
He is. He probably like grows his own food during the seasons too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But I like anything he can't get that he knows these like little like towns, these little mini towns have. He would probably go in to grab like, you know, other food, probably booze, supplies, drinks, you know, anything like that. Batteries or whatever. Weed. Batteries, anything he probably needs for like surviving the winter.
Flashlights.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff for like, he probably has like a generator and that's how he's able to get, you know, heat or like, you know, other things like that. But I feel like
get his propane tanks filled
up. During that he probably like took a lot from this like kind of mafia organization. And the mob like
he took from them.
Yeah, he like never gets caught. He's that good. So he like never gets caught, but the fucking boss is like, why the fuck are all my shit like why are all of these guys coming to me saying like portions of their supplies are getting swiped, you know?
They're missing, bro.
The boss starts seeing like the patterns, you know what I mean?
Oh man, you guys are stealing from me. What's up?
Yeah.
Is it you guys?
At first he starts thinking maybe it's like an inside thing, but he starts noticing it in like these different pockets around, because he's got, you know, his own little paws in each town. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? So then he kind of starts sending guys out to be like, all right, do some like recon, try and figure out like who else was around, because someone's traveling.
I think this should be like the mob is like just a family, like each family. You know what I mean? Because that's how it used to be.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't think the rat in the mountain should be on the mob side. I think they should be on the regulator side.
Ooh. Okay.
Just because it's like a family thing, right? And then it's like two outcasts. He's been living in the mountains.
They're outsiders.
He's from Texas. They don't know what's been happening in Denver.
Plot twist.
So, yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Okay, yeah. So instead, I mean, he's still like doomsday prepper. I feel like the rat is like Kind of not necessarily neutral, but kind of in that like he's not
Neutral evil.
Kinda. Well, I would say like if the mob is technically evil, then he would be more like lawful. So he's more like leans toward, because these regulators are keeping these towns alive. They are keeping people alive. So instead of them being like, maybe instead of them being too like, really hard on like who's getting it, maybe it is the mob. Maybe the mob is the one who's like, we control the supply of these vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're the ones kind of like in control, but not. They're in control behind the scenes, right? So they have like these like leaders or this like the organization. They genuinely are just trying to keep society alive. They're trying to keep people alive.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep it sane.
Yeah. But the mafia, like these families that were in power. And they probably were like families that like beforehand came from like
definitely
really prominent like political families, really prominent. So when the collapse
technology
happened,
families.
Yes, exactly.
We got X Musk in there.
we're not naming names anywhere, but it's all fiction. It's all fiction.
Z. Yeah, something with a Z in there.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I feel like they came from like really prominent, like they were like the billionaires' families, So when the world kind of collapsed, they were so like, well, we're going to keep our power over these people because that's what we do. Yeah. So they kind of formed like a fucked up like mafia style like, now all of you fuckers are in our pockets kind of thing.
Totally.
Yeah. Cool.
And you gotta pay. You gotta pay up to be in the neighborhood.
Exactly. They're the ones who like they fucking.
You need our protection from the regulators.
Yeah, or no. I feel like
because they tell stories about the regulators like evil shit. Like they're the bad guys. But
so you think the regulators the regulators are almost like rebels against like the real power structure, which is like the mob. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
And they're just bringing like the good.
We're just trying to bring vaccines. But yeah, I feel like the mob very much like controls the regulators too. The mob very much is like, you guys can bring these into our town, but this is how much you're gonna charge, or this is how much like commission, this is how much we take off the top, or this is like, even if it's not money, like if it's if they have like a different currency system after like
just be like
the collapse.
Like, here, I'll pay you with this rock. Here's the rock.
They do have like barter systems,
Yeah.
But there's still, human greed is gonna exist everywhere. So they're now on a barter system, but they're like,
Patron, you want some of this?
I love that. So funny. Yeah. So I feel like they're very much just like, cool, bring the medicine into this town. This is how much we're going to take of your supply for ourselves, and because of that, or like this is what we take in order to protect you guys, and in order to like keep your labs running, keep your we keep your suppliers running, that kind of thing, so that these medicines, whatever, can still continue to be made. Yeah.
Totally.
Very much everything is in the pockets.
Yeah, they must hoard the just like the elements, like just the stuff to make the vaccine. Like I don't even know what it is. How do you even make a vaccine? I don't even know. They like hoard all the stuff that you need to make it.
I am going to spend my whole night researching how vaccines are made.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So funny. But yeah, they hoard like you're right, like elements. They basically hoard the resources that these people need in order to make the vaccines.
And that's where the mountain and the rat come in.
Okay.
That's what they've been stealing.
Yes. Yeah, they've been stealing it because they both are like, they're working for the regulators, trying to make sure to nab whatever, like, that they can in order to make sure that more medicine is made. So they both, I guess, work together then to, like, help. Maybe there's, like a lab that is also on like maybe there was like a secret government base that was out in the middle of nowhere that the mob hasn't found yet. And so
yeah, totally.
And so these guys find them, or these guys find out like, oh, they're operating, like they've reconfigured this lab to make this vaccine now, but they're making almost like a guerrilla tactic, like very like DIY kind of style.
Totally.
You know, kind of
like
vaccines.
Put together real fast, yeah.
Yeah, but so it's kind of sketchy, but they're still effective and they still work. So they kind of both like meet and team up to get out and grab steal resources from this crazy big mafia families to bring to these like secret labs that are making more like vaccines and medicines to be more accessible to the rest of the survivors.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This took a very different turn than what I was expecting. I thought we were gonna do like working in the mafia and they were gonna be like
yeah. I think that's been done too many times, you know? So, like, we already know what happens. Like, it's been, like, you already know. So, like, going into, like, you're the afflicted from the mob would be fun. I think the mob should raid, like, over and over, like, just over spans of time. Just raid the vaccine areas and just steal it all back again, even if they did pay for it.
I love that because I genuinely, like, you're right, like, the idea of, like, okay, it's been, like, mafia versus the government or versus, like, law enforcement. It's been done so many times that, like, now it's like, oh, no, the mafia in this collapsed society, this mob is the government in this capacity. Like, they are the ones in power.
Yeah,
They're the
exactly.
Ones. So, yeah, having it be almost like a, like this dystopian rebellion going against a mafia-style government organization. I really like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh yeah. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about like specific to our characters. What's his personality? We know he's like stays in the mountain, homebody kind of dude. We know he's just
big,
jacked, like
that's
if
you saw him, you think he was Sasquatch, but he's like bald. He's like bald everywhere, and no hair.
He is.
And then just thinking like a big old round head, you know, like big ass head.
So like the hairless cat version of a Yeti is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he doesn't have spots or anything. He's like shiny. But then he doesn't wear a shirt, of course.
Yeah.
If you have no hair, you gotta flaunt it.
Of course. I'm just imagining like The Rock. Like that's just imagining.
But not that built, not muscly though. So like like big flabby, but not like flabby like big flabby, but like
he's got like dad bod vibes.
Dense, just like dense dad bod, super dense.
Okay. I like that. He's just thick, you know?
Just real thick, you know?
Okay, I like it.
And I think, like, I was thinking earlier, his cabin should be, like, 1.5 times the regular size of a cabin.
Okay.
So that he just, like, fits in it, right? But then when Rat comes in, it's, like, way too big, and everything's just, like, a little bit too tall.
and then if Mountain Guy goes over to the Rat's house, it's like
Rat's
Gandalf
place
in
he's
Bilbo's
cramped.
home.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that is epic. I love it.
And then I was thinking, like, overalls for, like, clothes, you know, just basic overalls.
Just mountain man type of vibe.
Because he just got like 100 pairs of overalls, so if he gets some blood on a pair of overalls, he just throws that shit in the fire. You know, that shit burns up. You got a whole other pair.
Opens up his wardrobe and it's just overalls.
Yeah, just jeans, like rows of blue denim overalls.
It's the same one, cartoon style, the same one.
Yes.
All right, we can tell where he shopped what store he looted when the apocalypse happened.
Yeah, definitely.
So funny. I feel like the Rat. I mean, like I said, he actually had a big like oil, family. He probably would have been part of one of the like mafia families. But I feel like
yeah, true. That's true.
You know what? Yeah, because he came from, like, big money. He came from, like, I mean, it's Texas, so I say big.
Yeah.
Everything in Texas is bigger, so, yeah. He came from... Obviously. He came from, like, a lot of money, big oil company, family kind of vibe. And he knew, like, his family probably had, like, you know, properties all over the country, like vacation homes kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like when the world was kind of ending, he tried to get his family to leave. He tried to get his family to be like, hey, we have to go inland. No one is going to, let's go to, you know, everyone's going to Colorado. No one is going, one's staying by the coast, and we live in fucking Houston, you know? Like, we gotta go. And he was the only one in his family to leave. I think he was the only one in his family to get out and
get... Yeah, because that's where all the oil is. You can't leave the oil money,
exactly.
Baby.
And all his family are like, we're Texans, we stay in Texas. You know, like the very...
Yeah, damn it, I've been here all my life. My granddad has been here. My great-granddad has been here.
Jesus Christ. None of my family can watch
the
this
oil
episode.
vibes.
So funny. Yeah. Very much like all of his family, very proud people, and they're like, no, this is our home, we're staying, it's, you know, this whole thing is a hoax, we're gonna, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, he leaves, and he basically, like, maybe heard a little bit from his family, and then, like, all contact got cut off. So he has no idea whether or not his family is alive or dead.
Yeah,
he has
totally,
no
that's
clue.
A good idea. That's great. It's always good to leave that open, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some very, like, we'll talk about that in the sequel episode in part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no idea. I think he just doesn't care. I think he, like, probably hated his family and was like, none of y'all gave a shit, none of y'all, like, he probably was very, like a climate change advocate, like, he was the one, like, leftist, liberal, like, kid in his family, while everybody else was very much, like, conservative, you know, that kind of type. So so he just doesn't care. He's like, look, they got what was coming to him, you know what I mean? He kind of has, like, that kind of thing. That's kind of the attitude he has towards it, and because he was like, they didn't listen to me. Like, it sucks. Obviously, I miss them because I love them and they're my family, but also they didn't listen to me and I was right. So I've got this almost like cosmic I told you so kind of thing, you know? So, yeah, he very much is like, he probably packed a lot of, you know, clothing when he went up to the ranch, probably already had at least like a wardrobe of clothes there because that was like a second, like a vacation home kind of thing. Like that was like a second home for him. So he was kind of already set, but it's because of that. It's because of his dynamic with his family that he looks at these like now mafia structures that are trying to like control access to medicine, control access to vaccines. That he's just like, man, fuck you guys. Like he's so
he's just back. He's back into it from his.
Yeah. He's like,
when he traveled, he was having a great time when he was traveling.
Yeah. Oh, silly.
You know, you're riding a horse, you're having a great time.
So
and then you get to Denver and it's like,
yeah,
fuck, all the mob is here.
He's like,
nobody told me.
Damn it. It's the same shit. So yeah, he probably absolutely would have, if his family had come with him and if they knew about the structures that were going on in Denver as the, like, townships kind of started building up. Yeah, because
nobody told him because he was like, so against it. They were like, they were against him too.
Yeah, so he shows up and he knew like, oh, my family would have been, we could have had it made. We could have been set. But no, I live alone now in this fucking ranch with my horse and like, and that's it. So yeah, he definitely like does what he can. He's like, we are not going to do this a second time. We have to learn from our mistakes that caused this shit, you know? Like, he's that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, I love it. I wonder what his real name is. I don't know if
I was just thinking that. And I was also thinking what the horses' names were. But we could do our people's names first.
Okay, okay, actually no, the first name that popped into my head was for the horse. His name is
All right.
Lucky.
What is it? Lucky. All right.
Lucky. Yeah.
You know, classic horse name.
Yep. I think it's perfect, but I also think it's fitting for like.
Oh yes.
Hey man.
That's true.
He was the one. Him
If
and
he's
his
the
horse.
one,
They were the ones out of their whole family to survive. He's pretty damn lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So Lucky. I almost don't want to give him a real like what his name was before the apocalypse happened. I feel like once he gets his name, he probably like didn't even go by a name. He didn't talk to anybody. He's probably really antisocial. Every time he went into the townships, he just kind of like when he stole the medicine or whatever, he would take it to the lab. And if this like secret lab in the middle of nowhere asked him like, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, "Don't ask me that." He like basically says like, "I don't have one."
It's Rat, bro.
Yeah.
It's Rat. Just call me Rat.
Yeah, he very much like he takes.
I like that. I think. Yeah.
He hears a nickname and he immediately adopts it because he's like, this is not the world we live in anymore. So that name that was attached to me, I am not the same person.
Yeah.
And so he like rejects. Once he realizes that his family rejected him and literally chose to die over coming with him and listening to him, he was like, I am rejecting everything I was before this fucking happened. So he like wipes himself clean. Yeah. So he stopped his name. He stopped. Yeah. So as soon as someone like brought up, man, you're like a rat. You get into all these like, how do you get all this? You're like a rat through a maze kind of thing. And he's just like, cool, I'm Rat now. And he takes it. He embraces it.
I think he should be hairy, like the opposite of the mountain.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a rat too. I think he should have like really long, like long hair, like almost the guy from You. You know how that guy's like super hairy.
So much for no reason. I agree with that. So like I know I said like really clean cut. He's well groomed.
Exactly.
But not like clean shaven. He like grows out a beard. He like has. I almost said he just has a mustache. He doesn't. He grows out like a beard. He has like I want to say he has like really light colored hair. He has almost like Ewan McGregor type, like that kind of sandy,
like totally
dirty blonde.
Sandy brown.
Yeah. Little tiny bit of red in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like that. I was thinking for my guy. All right, here we go.
That's good.
So I was thinking he would be he's been in the mountains before, like it was like his family's house. So it's like a big ass cabin. Everybody in it is big. Yeah. So it's just a big ass cabin.
So family of giants.
Yep, in the mountains. It's perfect.
Yep. He had one sister that was like 5 feet tall for no reason.
And the name that just came to mind was just Herschel Strongberry. All right, I think you like it. Herschel. Herschel.
That's the most D&D
Big
barbarian name. Big Hirsch. I love Big Hirsch.
Strongsberry.
I love him.
And then
so much.
He's always the one digging. That's why his name's Strongberry.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel like if we do end up doing like a part 2 episode, I will think of Rat's birth name. His dead name, basically.
Yeah,
I will think of that in that time because I don't think he needs one right now. I think he's good with just he's just the Rat. Yeah.
Mr. Rat.
I love it. This is so good. I feel like they both separately do favors for this like secret lab that is mass producing these like secret vaccines. They both separately do this, and then I feel like one day they either both like meet up. Either they meet each other when they get to the lab, like at the lab that they meet,
they fall in at the same time.
Yeah, or hear me out. They're both traveling from 2 different townships to get to this like secret lab, and they somehow like cross paths.
And then
they're
they
just like, the
ride
fuck
together.
are you doing? Yeah, and so they end up like having like a
Oh,
little,
that's a good
like,
idea. I like that because then they're like, "What are you doing here? And what are you doing here?" And then they just
I could
ride their
hear
horses
me out.
all the way.
I could absolutely see a scene where somehow the rat just gets his shit rocked from the mom somehow, and I could see Big Hirsch, just like carrying him like a potato sack, but like no effort whatsoever. He's
by
just,
the legs in one hand.
Yeah, I just got him slung over his back, or more like, you know how you have like an
Oh yeah,
animal,
over
like,
the
like
over
that.
Yeah.
So he's
totally.
just slumped over, half conscious, beat to hell, and he's just like, well, what's going on? And he's like, it's fine, just you're fine. Like, where am I? Who? Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, and like I can see Rat just getting in like all the sticky situations, right, where he's just like on the ground scrambling around like a rat.
Oh yeah.
And then,
yeah.
And then Big Hirsch just rides by on his horse and picks him up by his shirt and then pulls him up on the back of.
He gets. Oh, that's such a good, like, no effort, one hand leads him on. Oh, that's so great. You know, I love dynamics of characters where it's like, one is the rag doll, the other one treats him like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Totally. So good. Oh my god, the idea of them, like, I feel like him trying to teach Rat how to fight.
Oh yeah, totally. That's a great idea.
He throws one punch and like breaks his hand. He's like, what the fuck, man? Are you made of rock? What the hell? Yeah, it's that.
I'm just thick.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stick with crawling through vents from now on. Thank you very much. Like, it's that.
I'm like a tree. He's like a fucking tree. He's massive.
Okay, so that's another thing. Personality-wise, like, is he gentle giant? Like, the way he talks and, let's say, interacts specifically with Rat. Is he more like gentle giant type? Is he more like, I will beat you?
So, probably with Rat, he probably sees him like he's pretty cute. Like, he's a cute little guy. You know what I mean? So, like, he treats him like a not like a pet, but like almost. Because like,
I love this so much.
My guy, he's kind of like, I was thinking he could be like kind of insane.
Oh yeah.
Like kind of psychotic, kind of like glares off into space a lot. But like when he sees Rat, he's like, "What's up, buddy? How's it going? I missed you. You're so great."
Absolutely the type who, like, he hugs he hugs Rat and like breaks his rib. Like, just accidentally hugs him too hard, and that's how Rat's gonna die one day. Like, he just gets hugged too hard by his body. That's so cute.
Man, this is almost like what's that one book?
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's not like dumb. He's just like psychotic. So it's like
he's just like kind of like off.
Yeah, he's
like, buddy,
he gives off serial killer vibes.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Rat really loves the fact that that Herschel likes him, because he's like, you could and probably would kill me if you like me so much. Good to know.
Definitely.
I feel like Rat is absolutely, like, kind of condescending in the way he talks. He doesn't mean to, but he's one of those, like, I'm the smartest in the room and I know it. And he is. Like, he backs it up, you know? He was an outcast in his family, not just because he was, like, the one, like, leftist environmentalist, kind of turned prepper for a little bit, like, to an extent. But
I think
also
the prepper
because,
is just, like, in his blood, you know? Like, that's just his family.
Well, I think that also just comes naturally because he's he's smart to the point of, like, it's scary. Yeah. Because he, like, retains information and he just knows.
It's like a Rain Man, but, like,
smart. Oh, 100%
like
autistic.
Smart,
like he's autistic, definitely autistic. And I'm not afraid to use the fucking word, alright? That's it. One thing that bothers me so much in so much media is, like, I can look at a character and be like, that guy's autistic. or that girl's autistic. And everyone is so scared to use the word.
Yeah.
We're using the fucking word. I'll say it. Yeah, he absolutely is just, but he is that like more like smart in the way of very, very intuitive. You know, like he sees the way that things are going, and he's like, well, I need to prepare for that.
Definitely.
And so that, you know, when you see like, oh, there's you know, hurricane coming, I say as a person from Houston, like I'm used to, when you know, okay, a hurricane's coming, you know, tape up the windows, put everything that you care about in a more centralized, you know, location in the house, evacuate if you have to. If not, everybody don't sleep near any windows, sleep in like, we slept in like the living room when hurricanes hit, like that kind of stuff. So like, you know to do that, but his thing, I've done it. But his is on a much bigger scale of like, he sees what's happening with the world or like the country as a whole, and so he kind of sees it as like impending storms. He's like, oh, okay, this is going to happen, so let's prepare for that and let's get ready. So when he sees people not preparing or just focusing on what they have now or what they can gain versus what is going to be overall good for like long term, he's like, okay, you guys are fucking idiots, you know? But I feel like he also very, very much respects Herschel's vibe and Herschel's whole like deal. He lives in a fucking cabin in the mountains. He doesn't talk to people. Rat doesn't like people, you know? Like he sees that and he's like, oh, you're like, he kind of sees like a kindred spirit in him. He's like, oh, you're like me, you know, that kind of thing. So I love it. I feel like we have a lot here now, actually. Yeah. We've got a good, like, we've got characters, how they meet, how they, like, the world that they work in. Yeah, I love it. So, I'm gonna do a little wrap up here, try and, like, summarize what we got. I forgot to do that in the last episode. I need to get good at, like, episode...
Let's wrap it up.
Summaries. All right. So, as climate change gets inevitably worse, and more and more power dynamic, economic struggles within society start to rise, amidst all of this turmoil, there ends up being a worldwide, not even just nationwide, but a worldwide pandemic that wipes out more than half of America's population. Far more than half. Like close to
80%, I'm thinking.
Yeah, more than 75% of at least in America, in the country's population. During that, obviously, humans need to try and figure out how to recollect. You know, this economic collapse, obviously, it takes a massive toll. It causes everything to end. So in this newly built society where everybody has now moved inland, we have these kind of power structures that have formed. Some of the old countries, I feel like that's what they call it, some of the old countries, most powerful families and most powerful people in the world have now somehow claimed power once again within the little townships that have popped up. As they do. Fuckers. Just wanting to hold on to that fucking... Just wanting to hold on to that wealth. Exactly. They're more rat-like than my character.
Yes,
among all
indeed.
of that, one thing that these families do, they almost form a mafia-like structure, but that becomes this new country's government and this new country's power. So within that, what they do is they very much hardcore regulate, and I mean regulate to almost like a chokehold on the distribution of the vaccine and medicines that can help to treat and prevent and actually, hopefully one day, cure this new virus that had taken out a majority of our population and that essentially, effectively destroyed the country. In an attempt to subvert and actually do some good, there is this one singular small lab that has decided to try and start developing more accessible and on a wider scale of vaccines and medicines to help treat this, that is kept completely hidden from this mafia. And two people who end up doing work for this lab, stealing resources, gathering intel, keeping secrets to make sure that this lab stays hidden forever, are two recluses, I feel like, is the best way to word that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, yeah.
We've got our mountain giant, Big Hirsch.
Big Hirsch.
Herschel
Strongberry.
Strongberry. I love that name. I'm writing that one down.
Yeah, I probably should too, I haven't even done it.
Yeah, you would think I would write any of this stuff down, but I end up
I'm kind of like
just
scribbling whatever I can get down,
That's one thing I love about these conversations now being recorded is I can actually write them down and
it's way easier,
later.
Way easier later.
But so now we have Herschel Strongberry, who, living in a family cabin in the middle of the mountains, really kind of always was like this. Even in the days of the old country, their family was very secluded and separated from modern society, and good for him, honestly. That's my opinion. If I could go live
that's my opinion as well.
Let's go live in a cabin in the woods. That's all I want. Although I need an internet connection. I like doing this too much. That's my problem.
True.
And then we also have a man who has completely shed his identity of the old country. He has completely cut ties with any person that he maybe once was at the time, and that would be Rat, who has taken over his family's second home, vacation home, and now turned it into his own little doomsday prepped, not even prepping or prepper, because it already happened, his prepped home. Both of them have met. It has to be
hidden. It has to be very hidden because
very much.
I feel like everyone would see that
in a valley behind. It's in like a weird valley that was created like that's kind of like almost surrounded by the mountains.
I feel like you should have to like hike like deep into the mountains to get there.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We're gonna do number 2 for sure.
Oh hell yeah. I think all of these episodes eventually are going to get a part 2 because I'm so excited about all of these so much that I'm like, I need to see more about these characters.
I know. I want to hear more about the circus.
Yes. In the meantime, if everybody who is listening or who does want to tune in, if you do have ideas for maybe our characters, maybe other characters, if you want to, maybe
jump
throw
in the story.
Yeah, throw in a lab tech from this secret medicine lab, or tell us about how one of these mafia families, tell us about how they are, what's their whole vibe, what's their like. You can do that by either commenting on the video here on YouTube, or you can go join our Discord, which is going to be linked everywhere. You can go, exactly. I don't know how this is, I don't know what I'm doing, clearly. But go join our Discord. We do have a chat that is open for anybody if you have ideas, if you want to, throw in some stuff. I would love to hear what everybody has to say. Before we close out, Kyle, where can people find you on the internet?
On Instagram at Zodiac Files, ZOODIAC Files. You know to spell files.
Yeah. I love that. Obviously, you can find me at the DIY Witch, or you can go ahead on Instagram and check out at Not Quite Novelist. If you're having a hard time finding the Discord, because I'm still trying to figure out how links and organization of that works, you can go and find the link to the Discord channel through Instagram. All right. Cool. Well, I will go ahead and close out. Bye.